What's up troopers, my name is Neon and welcome to a brand new video. I made a video today explaining what Battlefield is currently working on, but I did say in that video that I will be making a follow-up up once we get some more information, and we did today. This information is explaining the change about the gunplay, a really big deal because this is not just a recoil change as you would expect. This is much more. This is changing its muzzle velocity when it comes to the distance, but one of the biggest parts is its body multiplier, so it would actually slow down the TKK. A really big deal because we have been waiting for a change like this. The limb multiplier is something what we all be expecting anyway, but a TKK change was definitely needed in the game. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe as well, and let's get ourselves into it. One of the changes they have made is adding spread to the weapons. It's basically the longer you shoot, the more spread there will be. It's encouraging you guys to start tap firing more. Recoil has also been changed as well. Basically, the recoil pattern is going to have the same pattern again and again and again. It's not going to be this random spread pattern anymore, where the spread is all over the place. This is going to be consistent understanding of between each weapon. What's a really important thing. If you have been playing Battlefield 6 right now, you have realized that when it comes to using weapons, the recoil pattern themselves are just all over the place. It feels inconsistent, you can never really figure it out. But the pattern what they're going to be adding into the game is always going to be the same. Imagine if you're using the same weapon all of the time, every single day. You're obviously going to understand that weapon better than others, and while you use that weapon longer, you're going to know how to correctly perform with that recoil pattern, as it's always going to perform the same. This doesn't necessarily mean all the weapons are going to be easier, some of them might be even harder, as they are increasing that spread. The biggest part of this is what you need to learn is tap fire at longer ranges. If you try to spray and pray at them distances, you will struggle, but tap fire is going to be your biggest point. Bullet velocity has been changed, the biggest part of it all. I love this change, I've been waiting for it for absolute ages. Honestly, I would say the biggest part of this has to be with the snipers, right? I think we can all agree on it that the sniper bullet velocity is just too easy. Having a sniper rifle, aiming on someone's head across the map, boom, they're dead, just that simple. And I wasn't a big fan of it because it adds that Call of Duty type to it. And I don't think anyone likes that at all because Battlefield has never been like that. We have always had amazing bullet drop and drag in the games in so many other titles. Yet BF6 has always been so easy when it comes to that muzzle velocity. I remember in BF4 you had to really aim high to get someone with a sniper just because of how big that bullet drop was. Actually, it was pretty satisfying in older titles, especially BF3, because you could see where that bullet was going. Most people would go from a far distance sniping and they would take that shot and slightly move to the side so they can see that bullet drop go all the way down and take the target. It was a really satisfying moment, but it was cool to see all of that. It took a massive skill to do it, and it was so difficult that it would take you hours and hours and hours to learn and master that craft. I do feel like snipers are going to be the biggest hit when it comes to this, and it will make everything harder. But it's not just snipers we're talking about here, we are talking about all of the guns entirely. Finally, I'm not going to get laser beamed when it comes to an SMG from across the map. I know it sounds extreme, I know SMGs don't take you across the map, but you understand what I'm talking about. Even if you tap fire, you could be amazed of the distances what you can perform with just an SMG. And that's why it needed to change, because SMGs are for them close ranges. It needs to be difficult at them longer ranges. It's finally happening. The TKK change is going to be a massive deal for this game. I think everyone has been waiting for it. As you can see by the demonstrations here, the time to kill is obviously going to be faster at them close ranges. So the way how everything has been performing right now, you are still going to get that fast TKK. But as I said in this video, it's the multiplier what is going to be changed. And look at the damage difference on what it will be doing. The multiplier damage is actually going to be a 9% difference from its body. What I love about that change is the TKK will finally be slower on certain gunfights, and mainly for its longer to medium ranges is going to be the biggest impact. But the way how I see it is that if a target is running away but running to the side and you try to take them down, well, you're going to start shooting on the arms and the legs unless you're a really good shot and you start hitting them on the head. But because of that, that will slow everything down. So having these gunfights is going to be completely different now, as it will take you longer to get them targets at longer distances, or if your shots are just all over the place where you're not getting the correct shots. This will add the balance where most weapons will be extremely deadly when it comes to close ranges. You're going to have a good weapon group of weapons what can perform at different ranges. So of course, assault rifles, LMGs, they are going to be extremely good when it comes to medium range gunfights, performing with that time to kill, and it's going to be a good balance between them all, where you can finally feel like every single weapon has a right choice and a right slot. Using SMGs is going to be your strongest point for close range for its high TKK, but keeping yourself consistent damage for further ranges, assault rifles, LMGs. We're finally getting to that point, guys, where we are getting the right slots for every weapon. Going onto the website, you can actually get yourself some further detail of the damage multiplier. Here is some of the shots when it comes to the DMR and the changes. So as you can see, when it comes to the chest, the arms, the legs as well, as you can see, it's all of the same damage multiplier, but after this is where it's going to be changed. So the chest and the headshot multiplier is going to be the same, but it's going to be a 0.91x when it comes to arms and your legs. So a 9% difference, and that's what's going to slow down the TTK, but that's for your DMRs. Here we have for sniper rifles. With this one, they already did have a damage multiplier when it comes to your limbs anyway for sniper rifles, but as you can see, for after, a massive reduce. This is going to be making the snipers so much more precise now, hitting them shots, as the chest and the headshot is going to be the most important. Because shooting someone in the arms and legs is not going to get a one shot. Honestly, it's not going to do that much at all. It will still take that 2-shot to kill, but much more weaker on them limbs. And automatic weapons are going to get a massive change. The damage multiplier is going to be reduced 0.84x. As we are talking about snipers, the sweet spots has been changed. The SV98 has had its sweet spot changed. What it was before was 54 to 90 meters, and it's been changed from 54 to 75 meters, so a shorter sweet spot. The M2010 ESR has been changed from 75 to 120 meters to 75 to 100 meters. PSR to 100 to 150 has been changed to 90 to 120. The L11.5 120 to 175 has been changed from 100 to 133. And the miniscale has no sweet spot at all, being completely removed. These sweet spots themselves are still in kind of the similar boat, but they have been reduced from its gap of its sweet spot. So what have I got out of this? Well, pretty much this is exactly what every single person wanted in the game ever since it came out. This is exactly what we needed. And this change here is going to be so big because this is where it's going to add the skill factor into the game. Finally learning a game where you can bring your skill into it and actually have a benefit effect. If you're someone who doesn't really go into depth into their gameplay, you're probably going to struggle, as this is going to be a learning curve to work on. You don't just have to learn on that new bullet velocity, you also need to learn on the new multiplier, and also learning a new recoil pattern for every single weapon. I played this game so much, but what I do like about it when everything does get changed is the fact that all these guns are going to start feeling fresh and new once again. This update will be happening on June the 30th. So make sure you get yourself ready, as we're really close. It's only next week. Hopefully this video explained a lot of further detail for you. Make sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date what we do over here. And I'll see you all on the battlefield.